Once again, Josh Nolan, student of sports scientist for Cricket Australia, lecturer and cricket researcher, Wayne Spratford from University of Canberra. Today we have with us Nikhil to talk to us about an enormous critical topic on cricket: how to get selected, succeed, and make millions out of India's IPL 2020 competition. What is the demand or requirement for success in this particular format of cricket, and how can we best prepare ourselves to not falter in the game, which is highly pressurized and boasts tremendous stakes, both personal and financial, and is the limelight for many cricket loving and adoring fans and players as well. First of all, Nikhil, what do you think the purpose and meaning or inspiration for creating an IPL was?
Well, the fact remains that cricket is a batsman's game, and that the batsman ultimately has the advantage in this game called cricket. Batsmen begin to develop such keen visual acuity and defensive technique skills that it becomes very hard for a bowler to dismiss them. Yes, a batsman may be able to protect his wicket and bully the bowler on the grounds of, well, you couldn't get me out, but may never attain that attacking spark and streak of dominance and aggression to their batting, which essentially one day cricket is about. Because the batsman has the advantage in cricket and can just sit there and protect his wicket until eternity, the poor bowler is left without not much of a hope of dismissing and getting the batsman out. So 2020 cricket achieves two things. One, pressurizing the batsman to come out of his comfort zone and not just defend and sit there like a bully and defend and not get out all day. And two, allow for a more even contest between bat and ball and give the bowlers a chance of getting wickets. Also three, forcing bowlers to optimize their ability to keep it tight, whilst at the same time leaving the possibility of getting the batsman out open at the same time. So it is a test of both batting and power hitting prowess, as well as tactile and guileful bowling prowess also. In Test cricket, the batsman can comfortably protect his wicket and score at a leisurely pace and still assist his team to win. But in 2020 cricket, it is not about making the bowler work hard to get wickets as it is in Test cricket, but rather making the batter work hard in terms of achieving a high scoring rate. As it is said, bowlers win Test matches and batsmen win one-day matches. The whole idea of 2020 cricket is not to keep wickets intact, but to score and reap the maximum possible score from your batting lineup within a short confined space of time, 20 overs. It is basically a competition for power hitting and who can bat with more rush and dash and score maximum runs from the allotted 20 overs, irrespective of how many wickets fell. It is mainly an exhibition and a test of a batter's skills and improvisation, strong bottom hand hitting, playing baseball, and dominating the bowler via fearless and powerful strokes. Suddenly, when the batsman opens his shoulders and tries to play aggressively and swiftly, the bowler has a bigger chance, or as we would put it, some chance of getting a batsman out who is at the top of his game and has honed and practiced orthodox batting technique for hundreds of hours.
We all know that IPL and 2020 cricket is not real cricket, but what are some of the skills and abilities that this format of cricket draws upon and demands?
Well, it is quite simple for batsmen to hurry up the run rate and score at the absolute maximum run rate possible, and for bowlers to first and foremost keep the bowling tight and accurate and prevent scoring, but also leave the option and possibility getting wickets open.
And what are your words for people who think 2020 cricket is a waste of time and doesn't prove anything?
Well, there is a specific purpose and objective which IPL is trying to achieve, and yes, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry and an adorned game to millions around the world and loved and watched by millions of fans the world over. But it is the principle upon which 2020 cricket was based on, which we need to look at. 2020 cricket tests both batsmen and bowlers in certain ways and is an exhibition of specific and particular cricketing skills, which a cricketer of professional repute should have. This is the motive and point of the IPL, to test whether a batsman and or bowler is actually that good and has what we would call the all-round bag and arsenal of tricks, skills and abilities to succeed in a condition and circumstance which may not be second nature and which requires a certain thinking outside of the box to succeed. This is what IPL is about and why it is important. As to looking at a cricketer's skill and credential as a professional and not just an amateur, IPL is the perfect competition and dogfight in really testing out the full repertoire of skills and abilities a batsman or bowler may have. That is IPL. That is, IPL forces both batsman and bowler out of the comfort zone, and that is why it exists and why people love to watch it.
So, if IPL is so important, then why did you say earlier that it's not really real cricket?
Well, it does not allow the batsman to prove that he can build an innings and make a century no matter how good and guileful the bowler is. And it does not allow the bowler to prove he can get a highly well-trained and honed expert batsman out when he's not under any pressure to score at a high run rate. So this is why we brand IPL as a toy cricket, almost, as it does not allow for the exhibition of the full depth and breadth of cricketing skills a batsman or bowler may possess, and is more about the batsman having a slog and the bowler merely trying to prevent or contain this slog. That's why. It does not draw upon tactile and guileful toil and labour to lure or fox the batsman to get wickets, and does not draw upon a batsman's ability to read the bowler's plans and come out on top no matter what.
Well, there you go, folks. The premium book of current times on the IPL and what it takes to get selected and succeed and make a living out of being a competent 2020 cricketer. Out now for only 3 Australian rupees and available as an ebook also. Dubbed the first coaching manual of its kind, dedicated to only teaching people the what, why and how of the prestigious and famous IPL League competition. Guaranteed to have you understanding the game from a technical angle and make IPL selection for an aspiring cricketer more and more imminent. That's all we have time for, Canberra ACT. All the best, cricketers.